Welcome to the wonderful world of linear equations, Part 3, 2020 COVID-19 edition. Dun dun dun! Okay, now let's apply what you have learned in Part 2. Okay? So now this is the same type of table. Remember our input-output table? We just replace the in with x and the out with y. So we have been solving the problem looking at x. Now we are going to look at the problem in terms of y and look for the pattern. Okay? So what is the pattern? Again, we can look at y, and to get from -3 to -1, we add 2. From -1 to 1, it's +2 again. And from 1 to 3, it's +2. So relatively easy. That's why our first lesson was finding out what the pattern is. That is your foundation skill. And this is why you needed to be very good in that skill, so that it will be easy for you to find the pattern in terms of x or y. Okay? So in this case, we are now interested in the pattern of y. Okay? So we know that -3 to -1 is +2, +2, +2. So the pattern is +2. Okay? Now, you have the beginning of the equation. The difference or the pattern in y becomes the coefficient of x. Okay? So over here, it becomes the coefficient of x. So notice again, the pattern from one term to the next. So remember, term, okay, is this one. That's one term, that's another term, that's another term. Remember your vocabulary. So the pattern from one term to the next term is +2. And then you use that pattern to start an equation. Okay? So y is equal to 2x. See, this is where the 2 comes from. And this becomes the coefficient of x. Now, if you remember from algebra, the coefficient is the value or the number before a variable. Okay? So there you go. We already have an equation. Now, let's see if the equation is correct. And how do we do that? We check by substitution. So let's start with our equation. Y is equal to, okay, y is equal to 2x. Let's substitute, okay? What is x? X is 1. So that's x there, okay? So y is equal to 2x. Y is equal to 2 times 1, because 1 is a value of x. See? It's in the x table. And therefore, if x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, based on our equation. Okay? But there's a problem. If x is equal to 1, y should be equal to -3. What should I do? Give me tears, crying. Okay? What should you do? The answer here is 2, but it should be -3. Okay? No problem. There's an easy solution for this one. So think, what can you add or subtract to 2 so that it will become -3? Okay? How can I make 2 into -3? Think about it. You can pause the video while you think. Okay? So what do I put? I need to add something or subtract something so that it will equal negative 3. So what could it be? Okay, what could it be? I need to do a negative 5. Okay, so in order for 2 to become a negative 3, I need to subtract 5. So 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So now you need to add that to the equation. Do you remember what we call this? The number without a variable? Okay, that is what you call the constant. Okay, so now your algebra is coming back to you. So the constant never changes. It's always the same. That's why it's constant. Okay, how did we get the constant? It's trial and error. Okay, so you start off with your basic equation and then you solve it and compare it to the value in the table. If it's not the same, you need to solve for the constant. What will make it equal to whatever value is in the y table? Okay? So let's see. Y equals 2x minus 5. Y equals 2 times 1 minus 5. Y equals 2 minus 5. Y equals 3. So you can see here, y equals 1. X equals 1 and y equals 3. So let's check if the same holds true if x is equal to 2. Now remember, if x is equal to 2, y should be equal to negative 1. So how do you do that? You check by substitution. Remember, CBS is check by substitution. So all you need to do is start with your basic equation. Okay, y is equal to 2x minus 5. Substitute. What is y? Y is negative 1. Okay, equals 2. And what is x? X is 2 minus 5. So negative 1 is equal to 4 minus 5. Okay, this is equal to 4. Negative 1 equals negative 1. Correct. Okay, now let's check if it's correct for this set of values. Okay, so again, always start with the equation. Do not be lazy. Okay, this will help you be accurate. Again, y is 1, see, 1 is equal to 2, and what is our x is 3 minus 5. So 1 is equal to 6 minus 5. 1 is equal to 1. Okay? And let's do the last one. Again, start with your basic equation, 2x plus minus 5. Okay? Y is 3 equals 2. And what is x? X is 4. And your constant is 5, negative 5. Okay? So 3 is equal to 8 minus 5. 3 is equal to 3. Okay, so that is how you check. Now, if you look at the answer, okay, the left side is equal to the right side. Okay? It's checked by substitution. So your turn. Okay? So download part 3 and make sure that you put it after part 2 in your linear equations notebook. Okay? In good notes. So it's the same thing. Let me get you started with this one. Okay? So what is the pattern? Okay? How did 6 become 10? How did 10 become 14? How did 14 become 18? And whatever your answer here, okay? Whatever your answer is here, let's make it a star. Okay? will be the beginning of your equation. So y will be equal to whatever the value is times x. Now, that will be the start of your equation. The next thing is you need to check by substitution. Okay? If you put in the numbers, what will it be? Okay? So work on that one. And when you're done, submit only the question pages, okay, to Google Classroom. Okay? If you have any questions, raise your hand in the Zoom classroom. Okay. Bye-bye.